I know that you and Jim are close, so it had to be pretty nice getting to wrap up your run here in Mid-South with your pal, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Jim and I have become very good friends, and we still are to this day. So uh, yeah, yeah, it was kind of like. But when Jim first, I mean, I was there when Jim first started. Oh my gosh, he's hot off of the football field. He had just come out of the NFL,
Yep.
and uh, it's kind of like you had to remind him every now and then that it's a work. We're not really punching each other.
I've heard the
Loosen
same
up, Jim. Loosen up.
I've heard the same thing about Dr. Death when he first came around. Like guys
Oh,
are
oh yeah, yeah. Doc too. Yeah.
oh man, a couple big rough dudes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Here you go. You're about to go debut on that Turner TV in Georgia. Any hesitance to leave Mid South behind after this really crazy successful run that you had, or is it just kind of the name of the game? You move on to different territories.
Well, it was. I mean, I think it was more of it was a move, a family move. Again, I mean, like yeah, Melanie and I got married. Like I said, New Year's Eve '81, and I was in Mid South all that time. So this is '83, and now I'm gonna go back to Georgia, and I really went back to Georgia more. I think for my marriage.
Hmm.
Uh, I mean, I wanted her, to be around some of her old friends and things like that. And uh, just to, not with me gone all the time. I mean, you think about that. I mean, we get married. She doesn't know wrestling, and you can explain it to him, but hey, I was home every night in Georgia, and it was just I think I needed that again. For a while because just Mid South was just wow. You weren't gone every night, but there were a lot of nights you were gone. And so now we're back in Georgia, and what I am doing, again, which takes me away, is trips to Japan. I would be like, you would go to Japan, you're there, you're gone 3 total weeks or sometimes 5 total weeks, before you get home. The money's real good, but you're gone.
Right.
So, and I, because I had hoped and we had, I believed that if she went back to Atlanta, she still had a lot of friends there. Well, she still had a lot of friends there, but all of her friends were still single. And it's kind of like when you're married now and you have a child to take care of, everything changes.
Yep.
So ultimately, we went we went back to Mid South.
Yeah, you've said here on the show before, it's kind of like, and no matter where you would stray, you kind of always gravitated back toward Mid South eventually. It might be a silly question, Ted, but I think it's worth asking. Do you think that Watts would have given you a little extra money for your final appearance here? Now let me justify that question. It kind of feels like he'd want to maintain a good relationship with you and leave the door wide open for a possible return to his territory. Would that have been common practice back in those days, or not so much?
Yeah, not so much. I don't think so. I mean, but I mean, it was like those were the days where, I mean, the promoters, they had you by the. It's like if you want to work for me, okay, and there was no written contract.
Mm,
I mean, like of course, I could have like I just said, screw you, I'm leaving, and left, but then I would have never been able to go back. Uh,
right.
but no, but nobody had contracts like that back then.
I think that's an interesting note for our fans here. I mean, here you are, you're doing the job for Duggan on the way out the door, which is the right way to do business.
Yeah,
But like you didn't have to. Nothing was forcing you to do that. You're just doing it because it's the right thing to do, right?
yeah. I mean, it's the right thing to do, and relationship wise, with Bill. I mean, you don't want to be a hard butt, but I'm leaving the territory, so why not?
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's like why it's kind of like if I'm leaving, then do I why not do the favor for somebody that's going to help promote them and move that organization forward? Because I always know that down the road I can come back, and I'll have that same relationship with the boss, and when I come back, then I start winning again.
Right. The right thing to do, not just for Bill Watts, but also your buddies with Jim Duggan. So why not
Yeah,
put him over, make him look
absolutely.
good?
Yeah, well, it's kind of like what's best for business.
Hmm.
Like, and the too many guys, get their own personal thing. It's like, like wrestling is a business, and you got to do what's right for business. It's like it's not always about what's best for you necessarily. Of course, it depends on where you are on that on the ladder. Are you a top guy? Are you a middle guy? Are you an opener? Uh, all those things play into it.